Hey everybody, what's up? This is Jason Burchard. I'm bringing you my picks, what I call my, if I can find it here, my beasts and bargains that are for your daily fantasy football for 2015. This is week 3. This first time I got around to doing it, so I'm going to try to do it every week for you and give you my beasts and bargains. So basically, that's one beast and one bargain for each position. And then I also like to give what I'm going to call out and about, which I'm going to kind of run down some of the guys that are out and some of the guys that I might be all about. So without further ado, let's get into the beasts and bargains. First up, at quarterback position, sometimes I might give you a couple options just because I'm not too strong on one. Like quarterback, the beast, I'm thinking the two main beasts are Tom Brady and Russell Wilson. Brady's at 7,700. And everything I'm talking about, we're going with DraftKings. That's what I like to use. Probably pretty similar with some of the other sites, FanDuel and whatnot, but I'm going with DraftKings, so that's what I'm going to talk about and put on my YouTube title there. Anyway, so Tom Brady is at 7,700 on DraftKings. Russell Wilson is at 7,000. Brady's against Jacksonville, and they don't let up, so I'm thinking, that could be a pretty big blowout there, and same with Russell Wilson. They might let up if they're blowing them out, but, I think Russell Wilson's going to find it easy. So, and with Marshawn Lynch kind of questionable, I don't think he's going to get much action. So, Wilson's going to be doing a lot there against the Bears. So, the bargain at quarterback, I've got some different ones in my tournaments, but I think probably one of the best bargains out there. He's a little risky, but Derek Carr with the Raiders. He had a great game last time. He had 30 points, 351 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And right now he's at 5,300 on DraftKings. So I'm liking the bargain there. Who they play? The Oakland plays what? Cleveland? Oh, let me find it here real quick. Yeah, Oakland plays Cleveland. So I was surprised that his price actually went down, and they're having a better matchup because last week they played Baltimore. So I'm liking Derek Carr. Some of your other options I'm looking at. One risky play in a tournament, just because probably not too many people are going to pick him. I got Jimmy Clausen in a big tournament, just because they might not win, but if he puts up some points and get some good value out of him, and who else? Not too many people are going to have him. So anyways, on to the running back position. My only beast I wanted to talk about is Jamal Charles. The same price as Marshawn Lynch, which I would not go with Lynch with his questionable tag, and he only practiced 1 day out of 3 days this week. So they're both the same price, Lynch and Charles, but go with Charles at 7,400. He's going to get some action, and he's, as far as we know, not injured. So I'm liking him. The bargain at running back, I'm really digging Dexter McCluster. The Titans against Colts. He's at 3,000. Like, that's pretty much bare minimum DraftKings. And against the Colts, they're gonna run it like crazy. They're gonna get anything they want. So, and hopefully McCluster's gonna get some more of the carries from Sankey. So I'm thinking that's going to be a great bargain there. And I'm thinking at least 15 points. And at 3,000, that's a huge bargain. On the wide receivers, the beasts, I'm looking at 2. Julio Jones is at 9,000. Pretty pricey, but look at it. The last 2 games, he's had 9 and 13 receptions. That's what I look at wide receivers. You're looking at DraftKings, you have to go with guys that are getting a lot of receptions. That's where you get your points because you get a point per reception. So pretty much, go with nothing but stud wide receivers and another wide receiver in your flex. That's how you're going to win money in DraftKings. FanDuel, it's going to be a little bit mixed up. You only get, half a point per reception. So, Julio Jones at 9,000, I think, he can still get you 20 to 30 points. Also, Julian Edelman, crazy numbers, and they're against Jacksonville. Look at him. Edelman is at 7,000, which is a little pricey, but not near Julio is at 9,000. Edelman had 11 receptions the last game, 19 targets. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there at 7,000. I'm thinking, he could put up crazy numbers for you. So, I would go with one or both of those guys. Definitely on DraftKings. Bargains, like I say, try not to go with your bargains unless you're really feeling it to spend money elsewhere. I would not go with one or no more than one bargain at wide receiver on DraftKings. But Crabtree is at 4,600. That's a pretty good deal there. Let me see if I can find his numbers. I don't have it wrote down in front of me. Because I got him in one of my lineups here. I can pull him up pretty quick. Crabtree. Oakland, like I said, versus Cleveland. Last game, Crabtree had 9 receptions, 5 in the first game. He put up almost 30 points last game, so he may not come close to that against Cleveland, but, even 10 to 15 points, not bad for 4,600, but you're hoping for at least 20 points, I think is not out of reach there. Also, still a bargain. Larry Fitzgerald had a crazy game last time. He's had 6 and 8 receptions in the first 2 games. He had 3 touchdowns and 40 points last week. So I'm thinking he's still a great deal at 5,800. And they're playing San Francisco, so I'm thinking he could be a good value there. On the tight ends, I don't know. I mean, of course, Gronk is always going to be a beast, but I'm liking Jimmy Graham. He's kind of a risk. He had a good week the first week, not so good last week, but against they're playing the Bears. I think he could put up some numbers. I think as a statement, basically, because like I say, Lynch, I think even if he plays, he's not going to get much action, and I think Wilson and Graham are going to try to see what they can work on against the Bears and, try to make some progress there. So I'm really thinking he's going to be a good deal that a lot of people might shy away from. So, and that's what you want in the tournaments too. So, a bargain at tight end, Kyle Rudolph. I was originally looking at Ladarius Green. They're both at 3,300, but Green, stay away from him. He's got concussion symptoms, and he was having headaches late this week, so don't even try him. He's probably not going to play anyways. But Kyle Rudolph, he's had at least 5 receptions in the first 2 games, and that's what you're looking at all over DraftKings is look at guys that consistently get receptions because, that's where you get your points per reception. Plus, you're going to get yardage and touchdowns out of them, hopefully. So, I mean, look at that. Don't look at matchup quite so much. But yeah, definitely Kyle Rudolph there. And your flex, just kind of go off these guys, fill in there. Like I say, on DraftKings, definitely go with tight end or wide receiver. Most likely wide receiver, but maybe throw another tight end in there on your flex spot. Defenses, I'm thinking this week are some of the obvious. But, a lot of people are going to have Seattle versus Chicago at 3,400. That's not too bad. And that's the crazy thing on I know I say crazy a lot, but that's the thing with DraftKings is your defenses from top to bottom, the price doesn't vary too much. A lot of the middle ranked defenses are at 3,100, and you're looking at probably who's going to put up the most points is Seattle at 3,400. So, try to go there, but mix it up a little bit in your tournaments. But, and what you're looking for in the defense is not so much who's gonna limit points, but the turnover possibility. And so you're looking at Seattle versus Chicago. You know, Clausen's going to be playing. You never know. But also Carolina at 3,100. Drew Brees not playing. I mean, they're going to have some turnover possibility there. And also at 3,100, the Patriots versus Jacksonville. So not too bad there. And Jacksonville could put up some turnovers with them trying to play catch up. So let me see here. On to the final section here, what I'm going to call out and about. Basically, the guys I've talked about that are out. Drew Brees, Tony Romo, Jay Cutler, Arian Foster, all out. Like I say, Marshawn Lynch might be out, most likely. And Eddie Lacy probably going to be out. I also throw Johnny Manziel in here. You know, he's not injured, but he's sitting for who was it? Josh McCown. I mean, I really think he's probably going to play, you know, at least the second half or more, Manziel. But you know, you can't pay up for that risk, unless you try it in a tournament, because I'm thinking McCown might just turn it over the first series or two, and they're going to throw Manziel in there. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, you might risk it in a big tournament, but no more than that. Let's see. I talked about Lynch and Green. Probably not going to play. I think originally I was going to call this can'ts and don'ts, and then I think I was throwing Peyton into a don't play and Andrew Luck into a don't play because they both been kind of bad this year so far, and I wouldn't risk it just yet. You know, they're both going to start having some big games, but I don't think this week. Both on the road. All about. I didn't write them down here, but some guys to definitely watch for is if Lacy's going to be out. You know, Starks is bare minimum 3,000. He's going to get a lot of action there. Dion Lewis, the Patriots at 4,200. Look at Lance Dunbar with the Cowboys. They're going to be running a lot. You know, Dunbar's a backup, but he's 3,200. He's going to get some action. Pretty much, other than the guys I've already talked about on my Beasts and Bargains, not too many more I'm about. Let me check some of my lineups here. You know, definitely sticking with the pricey receivers, but mixing it up a little bit. You know, I've got Fitzgerald, Watkins, Edelman, Marshall, Crabtree, Cooper, Torrey Smith, Julio Jones, Anquan Bolden. I got one kind of San Fran heavy lineup over here. You know, I got Cam Newton, Kaepernick. Hopkins, I might throw him out because it's looking like he's, you know, concussion probable. So, that's basically it, guys. I'm going to try to bring this stuff to you every week. It's Saturday right now, but I think a lot of you are going to be watching on Sunday mornings. But I'll try to bring this all to you by the Thursday game so I can include that too. And probably not have too much to change there. But yeah, just because I did the late one this week, you know, I kind of was leaning away from Lardarius Green and Marshawn Lynch when earlier in the week we weren't too sure about, and I had them originally picked, but you know, and that's how it goes sometimes later in the week and into Sunday. You know, you've got to watch for the injuries, you got to watch for the bargains, and you know, when guys are going to sit, who's going to get the action. But pretty much, good luck, everybody. And next time I will kind of look at these picks and see how they panned out and so forth. But I'm going to try to keep these casts around about 15 minutes and right there, just hit 15. So, till next time, good luck, guys. Have a good one.